I'm just kind of check. Oh, snap. Ah! Sorry about that. That was a 100% accident. But that wasn't any, no one was even in the room. That's the thing. No one was even in here. So it's all good. I'm not going to start my stream until I got about at least 500 people in here. I don't even start talking. That's like I don't wake up in the morning. I don't wake up to go to work unless I'm making $1,000 just to get out of bed. I don't even roll out of bed unless you're gonna pay me $1,000. Unless I'm gonna make $1,000, I'm not even getting out of bed. That's the way I do it. If I'm not, I won't even roll out of bed for less than $10,000. So I can't start my stream until there's at least 500 people here. And I'm serious because every time I always give in and I say, okay, and I give in 500 people this time. Or maybe 200. I'm not going to start unless there's about 200 people up in here. And I'm not going to do it. I refuse to say anything unless there's about 100 people up in this room. And then I'll say something. You know, I don't just talk for nobody. Maybe 20 people and I'll start my stream, but I ain't going to say nothing until 20 people come up in here. 20 people, at least 20 people. Okay, 9 people's good enough. 9 people's good enough.
Brothers and sisters, coming from his studio located in the great state of Texas, the undeniable, irresistible Mike Slinger, the hard-working man himself.
I like to salute all my veterans out there. All right, come on. It's all right. It's all right, y'all. It's all right. Keep it up. Come on. Keep it up. 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 Freddie. Freddie. You know what channel, Freddie? You know what channel, Freddie? You got it. Come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie. Y'all give it up. Y'all. Freddie! Freddie in the house. Come here, Freddie. High five. Good job. Oh, man. Freddie nailed it today. Freddie. I can't tell you how happy I am, Freddie. Freddie, man. Freddie, you did it. Y'all. Freddie, you got your glasses on today? Because you are on fader number 3. Freddie is, let me turn, because this, Freddie, you were on, bro. Thank you for that. No. Thank you for that. Thank you, Freddie. Freddie is my buddy. He's been running my sound for how many years now? 15 years? It hasn't been that long. Don't even say that, Freddie. It don't even lie. It has not been 15 years. You're lying, because really? And I still not paying you? But I pay you in coffee, right? You get free coffee? Then I'm paying you. And the electricity's on, right? You're in here with the electricity? Then I'm paying you. Freddie being silly. I've been working for you for 14 years and I ain't paying you nothing. Man, you're getting exposure. That's what you're getting. I'm talking about you on TikTok and on Facebook and on YouTube. So you're getting exposure, Freddie. Don't be saying I'm not paying you. Good morning, y'all. I hope you're doing good. Man, I got up this morning and you ever wake up and you feeling like, did I do something wrong? And you're just kind of like looking around, what did I do wrong? I kind of woke up that way this morning. I was like on alert. I was like, listen, y'all, back in the day, I would jump out of bed, pop out of bed real quick. Like I jump up, boom, attack the day. Now that I'm a little older, I'm a little wiser, I've come to realize that slow is smooth and smooth is fast, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Slow is smooth. You just move slowly, but you move with purpose. I mean, you move fast also. Don't be getting me confused with being lazy. You can move fast, but slow is smooth is fast. You just got to take your time and do it right. So I take my time now. I get out of bed. I don't want to rush around. I'm done with that. I'm done with being stressed out. I'm too old for that. You young kids can do it. You young kids can be stressed out. I'm okay with it. But I'm done with that. So I had a good morning. I still have a lot to think about and talk about. Like, I think recently we've been talking just about business stuff and, motivation and all that good stuff. And today I wanted to just touch in on there was some. I come in here unprepared all the time. That's the thing. I wing it. So that's just the way I roll. I always just come and say, Lord, what you laying on my heart, Lord. That's what I do. And so today I was driving my kids to school, and I was thinking about, first of all, sometimes being in business or being in having a dream is lonely sometimes, y'all. And it starts off exciting. When you're coming up and people start seeing the potential you have, they get excited for you. And that's normal. That's good, though. People need it. People like getting excited. People love seeing, for the most part, people love seeing other people win. I think that's just the essence. Let me turn my camera right. That's the truth in a lot of things. People like to see other people win. Now, maybe there's a few that just are just mean and they don't want to see other people win. But I always like seeing my friends succeed. It excites me. I've always been the type of person that, although I don't go out much. I don't. Unless I'm playing a show, I really don't go out. I just don't. I've never have. I'm more of a family homebody. I guess because I get restless when I go out. If I'm not working and if I'm not doing something, I get real restless, and I don't like that. I like to be at home. And my wife is the same way. We're both. We're boring, but we're also adventurous. Put us on a trail or take us to the river, we'll love it up, and we'll be all over the place. But take us to a bar or to a concert, man, we're like in the corner, just it's not that we don't like people. It's just that you can get to a point where when you're around other people, you just get restless, and that's how I get. But I do like seeing my friends succeed. I love when my friends invite me to a show, because I will go to a show if a buddy of mine's like, hey, come to my show. And if I'm not working, I will go to your show and I'll support you. I believe in that. But the thing is, you have to be proud of your friends when they succeed. You have to. I love it when my friends get 1 million streams, or they get a tour, or they have an opportunity. It excites me, because when you see someone a normal guy who just has a dream, someone that's out there hustling, and something good happens for them, not only does it make you happy they're getting some sort of success and recognition, it makes you believe it could happen for you. That's an important part of success, is believing it can happen for you. And when you see your friends do something and they start to succeed, people take notice. Don't be angry or jealous. One of the good things that I've learned is watch what they're doing and learn. Because maybe they got something that they're doing that you're missing out on. It could be their work ethic. It could possibly be the way they produce their music and how they're putting it out there, or whatever they're doing business-wise. They're able to lock in with maybe something you've been missing out on. So always look at that as opportunity to learn and to grow, and also look at it as your friends that succeed. I know in my case, whenever I was moving up a level in whatever business I was in, whether it be music or my production company or my the company I don't really talk much about that I'm a silent partner with. Anytime I had the opportunity to move up a level, I always wanted to take someone with me. I've always, if I had a big show and I can invite other bands to come and join me, I liked helping my friends and the guys that need the opportunity. Sorry about that. I live I live on a corner house, and I don't have a big piece of property. I got a small one, so you hear all the cars. But it's good to be happy for people when they succeed. Now, we live in a crazy world because, especially with politics and people difference of opinions, it's always kind of smart to not put that out there, because everyone, even if you're on the right or the left side, I don't know. I just learned that people don't understand a lot of times what you're meaning or what you believe in. So a lot of times I kind of stay out of it. And that's some advice that I want to give you guys, because when other friends see you succeed, there may be someone that's watching you and doesn't want you to succeed just only based on your faith or based on your politics or based on your skin color. So there's a lot that plays into that. But always be the type of person that's going to celebrate other people's successes. I've always felt like that. I've always been like that. So do that, man. Learn that. And another thing, when I was coming to the house, I was thinking to myself, so I'm planning, I have a lot of shows coming up. And one of the things that I when I was in the band, I can't say the name of, which of course, the band no longer exists. It's my band now. I rebranded as Linwood King. So when I was coming up, I would always, one of the important things I felt that, I probably learned this from my mother, because she's very good at, she used to always work festivals or set up events and get sponsors. Go to Bill Miller's, you want to sponsor my church barbecue? She did stuff like that. She was always involved in event stuff. And one of the things that I learned is you got to get there early and you got to get set up quickly and find your real estate. And every time I'd be on tour or if I was in a festival, my not only was my focus on my live show and how good I was going to perform, but it was also my merchandising. And I'd always set up my merch table, and I'd have the tables decked out, and I'd go the extra mile for the presentation, because you want to present something that people are going to want to see, right? You don't want to present something that's not attractive to people. And it's funny because that's the world we live in. People, you want to present something that people are going to say, wow, that's cool, I want to go check that out. And so the thing that I would always do, I'd get to my shows early, and I'd start setting up, and I'd get my merch table, and I'd find my best spot, where I thought we'd get the most traffic. I stopped doing that. And I've been playing my shows the past year, not setting up my merchandising. I just kind of like get out there, set up. And I was thinking of potential. The thing that kept coming to my mind today on my drive back home from taking my kids to school was potential. There's potential that each of us have that we don't tap into. Like, for example, in the merchandising, in my case, I'm out performing and I'm playing my music, and I do say, hey, go stream my stuff, hey, go to my website. But I'm not hitting the potential of maximizing my income by setting up my merchandising. I'm just kind of like, I'm being lazy. And that potential, you're missing out because I'm not going to my full potential. And the other thing would be your performance, right? What are you giving in your performance that you're missing? Like that people are, that you're not giving your full potential to. It could possibly be, you're not training, you're not preparing for it, right? You're not exercising, you're not working out. I sit in here, as you can see, possibly all my gear set up. I set up my gear last night. And I feel terrible sometimes when I do that, because I have to practice. I'm not like that musician that never has to practice. I'm always trying to improve. I'm trying to get better. And I have to. I can't just play shows and be like, oh, he's so, I'm not good. And I'm 52 years old and I'm still practicing every single day, whether it be on my acoustic or my gear. So I set up my gear last night because I got this new little organ pedal, And that's another part of your potential. Are you putting out what you want to get back as far as your talent or your business? Now, there's companies I'm a part of that I don't do anything with. I just let them, and I pray to God, and it's been God's favor on that business. But there's sometimes you don't have to, you hope they're doing and hitting their potential. You hope the guys in that part of your life and that business are working at their potential. Because if everyone starts to work at your potential, everything's going to run right. Everything's going to be going smooth. But at the moment you start relaxing and start getting lazy and you're not maximizing your potential, that's when everything starts to fall apart. The quality control looks bad. You're not doing the best work you can. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm not at my potential when it comes to my shows. I'm getting there. And when I was in the past, when I was touring and when I was really playing, I don't know how to say without, because the band I was in before, I can't say the name of the band. I rebranded the band. So now this is what was it? After, like, the rebirth. I don't know, I'm gonna call it the rebirth. But before I was very, 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 I wanted to be on time. I wanted to set up early. I wanted to make sure I was getting everything done quickly, and I was always 2 or 3 hours earlier. But now what I have been doing is I get there an hour early, and it's like I'm done setting up, and as soon as I'm done setting up, I'm having to perform. And it's like, where before I'd set up and I'd sit down, I'd smoke a cigar, and I'd get ready for the show. Now I'm setting up, and as soon as I'm done, I'm still setting up. My sound man Evan Evan's a great kid. He's not Freddie. He's not Freddie though. I don't want Freddie to get jail. Get Freddie a hand, y'all. Get Freddie a hand. He's not Freddie. He's not Freddie. But Evan does my live production. He's a good kid, and he helps me tremendously. And I don't pay him. All right, Freddie back there going, you pay him? No, I don't pay him. All right, he does it for free. Now Evan's a good kid. I do pay him once in a while. It's complicated, y'all. But I'm up there with my guitar starting the show, and Evan is still running around plugging stuff and dialing stuff in, and that's not how I should be rolling. That's not me working and hitting my potential, because I'm being lazy. So today I have 3 shows this weekend. Tonight I'm in New Braunfels, tomorrow I'm back here at La Cantera, and then Saturday I'll be at Tommy John's here in San Antonio. Or what up? Today's Friday. Yeah, tonight New Braunfels. Tomorrow I'll be at La Cantera, and then Sunday I'll be, which I don't normally play Sundays, but I got scheduled. My agent asked me to do this Sunday, so I said I'd do it after church. I go to church and I'm gonna head over. But I have to try and not. It's a job, and it's not easy. You got to go and set up and get your gear locked in, get the sound set up, production ready, set up merchandising. So the first thing I got to do is I got to get there and set up merch. That's the first thing I need to set up. Merch, get the sound set up, sound check, get ready to perform. And so my goal is, now I was getting an hour early. I'm gonna try and get there 2 hours early. That's gonna be I have to do 2 hours early, just so I'm able to fully maximize my potential. And is it easier? I get paid the same whether I'm an hour early or 2 hours early, but my presentation, I know if I'm going to present something that's good, that people want to be a part of, I have to take it seriously and get there early to make sure my production is correct. And that's something that everyone should be doing that, y'all. Everyone should be doing that. Yeah, everybody should be doing it. You got to max out. Good morning, Ellis. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to my Facebook, but if y'all make comments, I will say that God, the Lord does love you. He loves me, and He loves you too, brother. God bless you. The Lord is good. But the main thing right now, y'all, is As I was trimming here, I was thinking, I gotta maximize my potential. Now, there's a scripture in the Bible where it says the sluggard puts his hand in the bowl, but is too lazy to bring it up to eat. That's a scripture. It's in Proverbs. When you're lazy, the food's sitting right there in front of you. You can have that bowl of food right there, and all you gotta do is just eat. But they say the sluggard puts his hand in it. The lazy man, the lazy person will put his hand in it and not even bring it up to eat. And there's a lot you can get out of that. For example, I got a treadmill right here in this little room over here. I got a treadmill sitting there. Just sitting there, just sitting. Now, if I wasn't lazy, I'd get on that treadmill every day. Because what it takes, 40, 30 minutes to get a good workout, 45 minutes, an hour. That's the kind of things we have to watch out for. My potential can be maximized if I don't sit down and what I'm known to do is watch Storage Wars and Pawn Shop. I can watch them all day long. Don't get me wrong, it's okay to take some time and to unwind. That's good for you. But try and figure out ways to maximize your potential. So for me, I've been going to the gym, but I lost, I was 217, I dropped down to 193, and now I'm at 201, because I like to eat. I like them tacos. So now I'm like, okay, I got to get back into my routine, because I want to be ready for my big show in March. I have a really, really good show in March. And it's near Dallas, Texas. So if you're out near Dallas, Texas, come and say hello to Linwood. I think it's in Grapevine, which is probably, I don't know, close to Dallas maybe. But I have a really good show that we have planned out. My band's going to be ready. I have a killer lineup playing with me. And I want to trim down a little more. That's my goal. But in order to hit that potential, you have to be able to not be lazy. And that's what I'm working on. I love Brandy. Man, I love Dave. I love Dave Hess. That's his name, David Hess. And I don't know, I just like that guy. Yep. Even though everyone hates him, I like him. But what are you missing? What potentially can you be doing to make your business better, your live show better, your family better, your walk with God better? There's so much we can do that we're not doing. Now, I had a routine going for almost 9 months, about eight or 9 months, and I stopped doing it last month. I stopped doing my routine. But my routine was I'd get up at 4 a.m., I'd go to the gym by 5, I'd get up, have coffee, go to the gym by 5. I'd be at the gym at 5, then I'd work out till 6 o'clock. I'd come home, and then I'd make breakfast, and I was on this good routine. And then the holidays came, and then my wife is working on her master's degree, so her schedule is jacked up. Like, she's really, she's taking care of it. Now, she's an example of reaching your goal. Like, my wife is not lazy whatsoever. She is the epitome of hard work, and she's getting her master's right now, and she's staying up late studying. She's waking up early, so she was going to the gym with me, but all last year, man, she was every day with me, 4 a.m. waking up. And we started noticing she was feeling sick, like she was getting kind of sick, and we realized that schedule was difficult for her to maintain because the lack of sleep was really affecting her and affecting me and the kids and everyone. So this year we're trying to get our full 8 hours sleep. So that means we're not waking up at 4 right now, which for me, that works with my schedule better to me because it starts my day off. And she tells me, well, you can go to the gym by yourself. Don't worry out. But then I feel bad. I feel bad waking up with, actually, yeah, I like. But those are the things that you have to try and figure out. That's going to help me, help you. That's going to help you reach that full potential. Don't be lazy. And I have to remind myself of that. Because I'm lazy, man. Bro, I've been known to lay down and watch TV all day long. I've been known to eat 5 donuts and 3 glasses of milk. Those are things that I have to work on. I have to make sure that I'm if I want to reach my full potential, I have to cut things out that aren't good for me. I have to cut things out that aren't beneficial for my family. I can't be wasting time on stuff that isn't going to matter to me and my family and my business. Now, live streaming, this stuff right here, what I'm doing now, it's not just part of my business strategy. I do this as strategy to help brand myself and to brand my music, but I also do it because I like to talk about business and life, and it also helps me refocus, because as I'm talking, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, and it helps me to settle and get ready for the day. I've always talked. I remember I'd be in my van just talking to the Lord and then talking to myself and be like just talking. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I enjoy doing. And so I'm just, part of it's, there's a whole lot involved in trying to reach your goals. And part of my goal is to talk about my life, my business, my family, my music. I don't want to get on here and just play music every day. I want people to understand what makes me do what I do, and that's how you got to be. What makes you do what you do, and talk about it, and be involved, and find every way you can maximize your time and your potential. We have to do it. So now I'm going to go set up my merchandising. I'm going to make sure at my shows I got my merch set up, I got my lights set up. You can't do too much. Now, people will tell you this, and I've been told this a lot. Linwood, you're doing too much. You're bringing too much gear. You're doing, and the fact is, if you're not doing too much, you're not doing enough. When I was working in carpentry, right, when I was really just focused on this other business of mine, I did too much. I got a table saw. I had the miter saw. I had the vacuum cleaner. I had 5 drills. I had every drill bit you can think of. I had what else? The hand freaking saw. I had the oscillator. I had the Sawzall. All DeWalt. Because I wanted it to match and look good. Because it helped me when I went to work. I felt good that all my tools were matching up. And it motivated me to just get out there and work hard. I don't know why it's like that. That's just the way my mind is. I don't know why I think like that. But it made me, I presented myself in a manner where if I showed up to someone's house with all my tools looking good, and then I'd set up my tent and my table, and I'd have all my saws, and I had the section for my batteries. If I presented myself in a manner that made people go, wow, this guy really takes what he's doing seriously, that transfers into my work. And that's the way it is with anything you do. But if I go to a show and I set up my gear and I set up my merchandising and it looks good, people see that and go, hey, this guy takes it seriously. He's taking what he's doing and he's doing it at a level that makes me think, hey, this guy's a professional. And it's not just in the presentation. The presentation is very important, but it's also in the talent and the work ethic and the craftsmanship. One of the things I do is my company, I can't say it's my company. Let me word this in a correct manner. I'm a silent partner. I invested a lot of time into this business of mine that actually it's successful. And one of the things we do is we work with some of the biggest brands in the world. One of the main brands we do work with is Lowe's Home Improvement, right? And we have a contract, right, where Lowe's says, hey, go install all my cabinetry for these stores. And we send people out there to do the work. One of the things you can't do is show up to a job site with all the nice tools and you set up everything real nicely and you're very polite and you're so good at customer service, but you get in there and everything's unlevel and the trim's not cut properly, and then people are kind of like, okay, he's a nice guy, he's got great tools, he looks professional, but his craftsmanship sucks. And as a business owner, right, or as someone who looks for talent, right, when it comes to anything, as someone who looks for talent, you can look good, you can smell good, you can present yourself in a great manner, but if the craftsmanship is bad, I don't want you. I don't want you working for me. Now, I've had guys that this goes across the board with anything, with music, with whatever. This goes across the board. I've had guys that come to me that are rough, that are raw. They don't know how to do. They don't have the skills yet. But they have the heart. And I've had guys, and I brought them in, and I've trained them, and I've taught them, and then they end up becoming polished, and then they become profitable for you. And then you begin to start making money in the business because they've discovered how to not just be presentable, but also be skillful, and they've learned that it's not just how good I look, but it's how great I perform. That's the package you look for when you own a business. Now, if I'm gonna sign somebody, I don't just want you to look good and want you to sound good. I want you to look good. I want you to sound good. I want you to have great character, because those are important things. There's a lot of things. I want you to be skillful. So, what's your potential? Where are we at when it comes to reaching your potential? Taking it to the next level? Where are you at there? Are you lazy? Are you kind of just chilling and not putting in the work, not putting in the practice? There were times I would go to a job site, right? And say I had to, and I don't do this anymore because I just don't. But say I had to go to a job site and put on a specialty piece of trim, for example. And it had to be perfect because you're dealing with finished carpentry. Y'all know what finished carpentry is? Finished carpentry is when it's the final, it's like the piece of molding that's treated. It's like maple, or it's oak, or it's and it's finished. And the only thing you can do is go and make the perfect cut and the perfect miter and the perfect nail it in perfectly and make it look like it was done, or one piece of wood, and it looks amazing. I would go there and I would I've been known to spend 3 or 4 hours on one little corner, man. Just it's almost there. Oh, I got to do it again. And you're taking your time until finally, man, eureka, boom, it's perfect. That's what you have to do when it comes to reaching your potential. We could just kind of wing it and be like, it's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. That's fine. Caulk it. Get the caulk gun. You can do that, but it's better to take the time to be not just the professional attitude, but the professional, skillful talent, the work, the craftsmanship. You got to have that. It goes across everything, man. Carpentry, music, whatever job you got. When I was in the Marine Corps, right, the thing that helped me wasn't that I wanted to present myself in a professional manner. I wanted to do my job above and beyond. And I was always trying to find ways to improve and always trying to be better than everyone else. But be polite while you do it. It's okay to want to be better than everyone else. It's okay to say, I want to be faster. I want to be stronger. I want to be better. It's okay to do that. And it's okay to train and get better. It's not okay to treat people like crap who aren't as good as you. That's for sure. You don't treat people, you lift them up. You elevate people. You're not there yet. I want to help you out. I want to help you to get there. And that's why when it comes to music, or when it comes to watching other people's successes, you can't be jealous and hate. You have to be able to celebrate them and be okay with it's not your turn yet. We got to be okay with that. We got to be okay with, okay, my time is not now. It's his time, and I want to help elevate him. Because believe me, if you help elevate somebody, the time may come where they're going to help elevate you. I was talking yesterday about this hit me this morning. I got up. And I have teenage boys here at the house, and one of the things that really bothers me, and I tell my wife once in a while, is when I go to the kitchen in the morning, and the trash can, right? We have a pull-out cabinet, like the cabinet is a trash can. You just pour the cabinet out in the trash, and the cabinet door is open, and the trash is overflowing. That gets me. Oh, that burns me up. And I'm sure there's things that I do that burns my wife up and everyone else up. But this burns, like if I walk into the kitchen and the trash is just overflowing, I can tell there's, I can see there's ramen noodles package. Only my teenage boys will get ramen noodles at night and cook it at 11 p.m. when we're laying in bed. So I get all the trash together, I recycle, and I go outside, and I'm thinking, man, these damn boys, they could have just done this last night. And so I throw the trash out. As I'm walking up there, though, the thing that hit me again is I was discussing gratitude yesterday. I was talking about how sometimes as a boss, and I said this yesterday, I have been in business for 23 years, right? Not just. I have a couple businesses that I'm operating in. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's not. I've learned this about people. If you hire your friends and family to work for you, for the most part, they're not going to show you gratitude. Your friends and your family aren't going to show you any type of gratitude. They're not going to tell you thank you. They're not going to tell you, man, I appreciate you giving me the work. They're not going to do that because I've hired my friends. My whole business model has been because I hire people I like that I want to help, and they're usually my friends. And I've had more friends I've hired that have worked for my company that don't show gratitude, and I've had family members that I've hired that work for my company that don't show gratitude. And I was thinking when I was walking out to this morning, I was thinking to myself, gratitude is so simple. To show someone gratitude, just to tell them, thank you, man, you know, I appreciate you for thinking about me. And when you do that for someone, it not only makes you feel good because you're telling someone thank you, it also makes the person you're giving gratitude towards want to do more for you. Y'all ever feel like that? It's true, because if one of my kids, like my kids, only on Father's Day, they'll be like, Dad, thank you for all. But if my kids were to just out of the blue text me, hey, Dad, you know, I love you, man. Thanks for all you do for helping me out. I'm real thankful for you. Man, I'd be like, boy, I'm going to get that kid a McDonald's sundae. Man, boys, that's what, and I feel like when we do that to the Lord, like when we tell Jesus, we tell the Lord, God, you know what? Thank you for my family. And I try and make a habit of that. Every day I just say, man, Lord, thank you for my wife, for my kids. And you step back and when you start realizing your blessings in life and you start giving some gratitude to the Lord and to the people that are helping you, that goes a long way, man. I think God hears us say, man, Lord, thank you for my jacked up car that's leaking transmission fluid right now, man, and thank you for that. There are most people that don't have cars, and I'm grateful for my car. And you start showing gratitude, He's gonna do something for you. I believe that. I feel like that. I feel like any father that hears one of their kids just say, "Man, Lord, thank you for this." No other reason, just to say thanks, Lord. I think God sees that. He's like, I can't help it, man. I can't help it. I want to do something else for you. I believe that. I think that's how parenting is. But being grateful is important, not just for me. Like I tell my booking agents, and anytime I work for a club or a venue or a promoter or a talent buyer, I always express my gratitude. Man, I'm grateful because there's a billion other bands you can be working for that would fight for this slot. They would literally sell their soul for this, and I want to tell you thank you. I always try and show gratitude because that not only lets the people that you're working for realize, man, this guy is real humble, and he's really showing me that I can. It's strange sometimes. I think when people show gratitude and they get someone like, man, I do want to help this guy out. I appreciate you. Because it's a two-way street. If you show gratitude, they're going to show gratitude back. If you show love, they're going to love you back. If you show excitement, they're going to get excited. That's one of the things that I felt made my show good was I would want my performance to bring some sort of excitement to people's lives. You got to get excited. Sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes you're not excited, but you got to just make it like get excited. Come on. Yeah, you're facing some hard stuff right now, but let's get excited about what you're about to do today. Get excited about your life. Get excited, get some motivation. Because sometimes you can flip a switch and get excited. Do it. Get excited. Make yourself excited, y'all. Yeah. You gotta make yourself excited. But showing that gratitude is important, man. And reaching your potential, going after, practicing. I mean, I watch TV and I practice my guitar. I'll sit there and run my scales and try and work my timing out. Then I'll come in here. Like I was in here, and I try and tell my wife, because working at home. Working at home is a little different. My schedule, I work. Usually, I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because I'm a musician and I'm playing and I'm making money. But the work doesn't stop. You can be working Friday. That's where I'm making my money. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I still got to work because I have to practice and prepare. I have to work contracts out. I have to market and promote. I have to try and stay on top of my numbers and see what's working and what's not working. I get a new piece of equipment. I got to spend hours learning how to use it. It's not, it's hard because I think my wife, she knows what I do. That's all she's known me as, is a touring, active playing musician. That's all she's known me as. And it's hard when you're home a lot because the ideas that people can get is you're just wasting your time, or you're being lazy. You're not working, or like I got to help more around the house, and I'm going to do that when I get done. I'm going to go out there and start helping cleaning up. But when it comes to my work, I have to be here working. And it's funny because I used to go on tour for 3 weeks, and it was hard, and the family would miss me, and we'd be talking every day. And but now that I'm not touring as much, I come in here and I start to work, and it's like, you're going in there again? I remember when I used to leave for 3 weeks at a time, and now coming in my room to do work, it becomes almost like you're trying to escape whatever is going on out these walls, and that's not how it is. You have to come in here and you have to work. If you work at home, you have to have your workspace. And I encourage y'all to do that. Make a workspace. If you're working out of the house, make a workspace. If you're a musician, don't. I see a lot of musicians do this, man. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday. Last week, I believe. I was coming into a show, and he was just getting done with his show, and we were talking a little bit, and I had some time to catch up with him. I was like, "How you doing, bro?" He was like, "Man, this life is real hard because I have no responsibility except playing my music, and all I do is give into my vices." And I'm thinking, I guess when he's home, because he makes so much money playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he probably makes $1,000, maybe $1,500, and then he's home the rest of the week. And I think he's not maximizing his potential to do more for his brand, to help grow his brand, because you can get in the position as a musician where you're fine with just making the money, and then you're stuck in that role of I'm showing up, playing, making the money, coming home, not doing nothing all week because you feel like you've already reached your goals of working. But in order to grow, in order to get out of that, like, I don't want to stay there. Like, this is just a stepping stone. This is just an opportunity to help me have growth. And I think what he's missing out on is he's coming home and he's smoking his weed, he's drinking his alcohol, he's eating, he's laying around, he's just chilling, and he's not maximizing the potential of him growing his music career. And I sat down and asked him, "Hey, what are you doing for publishing?" What do you mean publishing? And this dude's been playing, he's younger than me, but he's been doing it for 15, 20 years. And I'm like, "You don't know about publishing?" "No, what do you mean publishing?" And I'm like, that's where people get. You get to a point where you start making some money, and then you forget about how can you maximize your business or your band or your whatever brand you're doing, you get to a point where you start making money, but you don't maximize yourself to reach your potential because you either you think you've made it or you're making enough money. That's all you think you needed was I needed just to make this much a week and I'm good to go. And that's okay if you do that. But you get older. You get older and you end up, time starts to move. You get older and then you next thing you know, you're 65 and you're still doing that and you have no plan. Why would TikTok restrict me? Mr. Steam, hold on. What did I say what did I say that this is my live did not contain content like that. I don't know what they're saying. But you get older and you're not going to be, if you're not developing, building yourself a brand and you're just playing as a sideman, you're not going to be able to have any type of residual income that's going to come in and benefit you. So my advice to him was, man, get your publishing squared away. Start registering your songs. Download the BMI app. Because BMI is my PRO, my publishing rights organization. And maximize on that. Start working on that. Then start developing your logos and start figuring out ways to push your product and to help. That way you can not just stay stuck in making $1,000 a week, which isn't bad. It's not bad making $1,000 a week playing music. But if you want to make $2,000 a week, $3,000 a week. I've had businesses. There was points in my business where I was making 10 to 15 grand a week. It can get there if you start working and doing the right, maximizing your potential. Go all in with it. But he's being honest with me. He was saying, man, it's too good of a life. It's too easy. I like not having to. I like smoking my weed. But he was depressed. Like we're sitting there talking and I can see in his eyes, he was so unhappy. Divorced, his kids, he's back and forth with his ex-wife, with the kids. He's just tired. That's what you can get if you're not maximizing your potential, staying up till 12 or 1 scrolling TikTok. Don't do that. Set a time to stop. Try and utilize your time to grow your brand. And I think that's what frustrated me about my working with certain people. You work with certain people that don't have that same type of attitude, then maybe you should find new people to work with you. You got to find people that align with what you want to do, because if you're a hard worker and then you have a lazy guy next to you, it's really difficult to pull a lazy person along with you if they're not willing to stand on their feet and start working with you. And so if you're moving somewhere and then the people that you have that want to run with you, I want to run with you, and they can't run, they're kind of walking, you get to a point where it is going to hold you back. It is, and I don't want to sound like. It's one thing, like if you were to tell someone, it's a conversation that people have, and I had this conversation with some people, some business partners of mine a few years back, and it came up with, well, if we're holding you back, why don't we do something? And I took that as a jab, like I think I'm better than everybody. Like when they told me that, well, if we're holding you back, we should. And I did take it personal, but now I don't, because you know what? Something you can miss out on years of your life because you're letting people that you love, or you're letting people that you want to see succeed with you, that aren't willing to put the same type of work with you, you're letting them bring you back. It doesn't mean, like, don't learn from my mistake, y'all. Learn from my mistake. If you got a team around you that isn't putting in the same amount of work as you, then let them go. Don't bring them with you. Because it's going to get to a point where they're not going to run with you. They're going to limp, or they're going to drag their feet. They're not going to be ready to move when you're ready. And if you're in a type of business that you get one chance to be ready, and if you're not ready, you miss it. Don't wait. If you're building a team, if you're working with the brand, if you got a marketing company, or if you got a business, a small business, don't hire your friends and your family that are going to come on board and not show you gratitude. Don't hire people that you know aren't going to have the same type of attack as you. Don't do that. Now, yeah, there are some people that are rough. They maybe not have the skill set, their talent's not polished up, but they want to run. Bring those people with you. Don't bring that freaking talented, stuck-up, cocky little bass player that thinks he knows everything, that wants his $300 a show, that doesn't promote, that isn't going to be there for you to help you brand, that's not going to be there for you whenever you need to do a photo shoot. Hey, let's get a photo shoot. Let's look good. He shows up looking all nasty. There's a whole lot of stuff involved in being professional. And yes, you can look at, man, you can have your look, whatever your look is. If you want to look like a bum, and that's your image, then work at looking at it. It takes a lot of work to look the part that you want to look. If you want to look like a country band, if you want to look like a rock band, if you want to look like a hip-hop band, if you want to look like whatever, a hippie, it takes work to look like that. And if you got 5 guys in your band that you say, hey, listen, this is the image we have, we gotta really work at our image. Work at your image. Whatever your brand is, back in the day when I was working with this with Lowe's Home Improvement, I'm just gonna say the name because I don't care no more. I used to not talk about it because I was like, I don't want Lowe's to find out that I'm a touring musician. I don't even care anymore because I've established myself with them. My business is doing well. My business is, I'm not a part of that anymore. They do good. But I would never talk about Lowe's. I'd always be like, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to conflict the two. But one of the things Lowe's did, which is good, is smart, and I had to follow suit, was anytime one of our guys went out there, it was like they represent our brand. If one of my crews showed up there with a dirty shirt, that represented the brand, that Lowe's. And I had to train my guys and try and get some hardworking carpenters that are in the sun all day. Try and tell them, hey man, you got to look good when you show up to work. They're going to look at you and be like, oh no, this is my work shirt. This is what. You gotta look presentable. You gotta represent the brand. So what we have to tell people that work with that company is, hey, listen, I understand you're good. I understand you're fast. I understand you're professional, but you have to also look presentable. If you want this job, you want this contract, you want to make $500 a day or $1,000 a day, you have to come in presentable, and you got to represent the brand. And I've never had a problem with that. I've always understood that. It's the same way with your music. I represent my brand. When I go out, you're never going to see me go out in public in pajamas. That's not my brand. I'm not going to go out there without my boots on. I wear my boots. That's my brand. That's me. That's who I am. This is my brand. This is me. So if I go out and represent myself, I'm not going to show up with freaking jeans that are all ripped up and dirty and a shirt that has freaking taco stains on it. I want to go and look presentable. Whether it's for whatever part I'm playing, whatever I'm doing, if it's my brand stays the same. I have a beard. I've had a beard since I got out of the Marine Corps. I shaved maybe twice since then. And I regret it every time I did it. But this is me. I got gray hair. I'm not going to dye my hair black. I got freaking gray beards. This is me. This is my brand. This is who I am. Now, if I wanted to be in a pop band and I wanted to look young, yeah, I'll go and dye my beard and get all shaved up. But that's not who I am. That's not my brand. That's not what I represent. But if this is your brand, you got to represent yourself in that manner where you're looking the part, you're smelling the part, and you're at that level of professionalism and skill. And there's some people that don't want to come along with you on that, or they're not going to understand that. They're going to be like, well, why? I'm a good drummer. Yeah, there's 50 other, there's 1,000 good drummers out there. I'm telling you, there's 1,000 good singers. There's 1,000 great guitar players. There's 1,000 great bassists. There are billions of musicians out there that are super good and more talented than you and more talented than me. There are. But what makes you better in your business, what's going to set you apart, is if you don't just play good and perform good, you present good. you look like it. You put it out. You feel like it. I used to show up to meetings, man. I had this killer leather jacket that I got when my dad passed away. I was like, when my daddy died, he left me a little bit of money. It wasn't a lot. It was very little. But I took it and I saw this jacket, and it represented my father and I. Because my dad was cool when he was a kid. He was a cool dude. And I bought this leather jacket, and it was sharp, man. I used to wear it all the time. I still wear it once in a while. And I would show up to my meetings with this jacket, man. And it looked. And when I walked in the room, people would be, well, who's this guy right there with the leather jacket? And I walk by them, and they'd be like, look at that jacket. Look at that jacket. And so I always showed up to my meetings looking the way I wanted people to see my brand. It represented myself and my music and my brand. And I never understood this a lot, because I would hear people speak, protect your brand. You're your brand. And it's true. You are a brand. You are represent what you put out there. You're representing. You're putting out there, and people are going to see that, and it's going to trigger whatever thoughts they have about you. Oh, that dude's cool. He's really trying to, or that guy don't care about himself. He doesn't care how he looks. He's freaking wearing flip flops and pajamas. The people see that, and it reflects on you. So take that seriously. Work hard on your presentation, your freaking business plan. Work hard on what you want to put out there, how you want to represent yourself. Because I know I haven't been doing, like I was, and then I wasn't. Now I'm back again. Because it's easy to get lazy. It's easy. It's easy to do the minimum. I'm telling you, it is. I've done it. But we have to remind ourselves: don't do the minimum. Do the best you can. My wife, she got after me the other day. I was helping put the clothes away. And I know I don't help often, but I was helping put the clothes away the other day. Yeah. Thank you. I think I deserve that. I'll be honest with you. I think I deserve that. I was helping her put the clothes away, folding the kids' clothes, and then put the hangers out. And I had been neglecting. I've been neglecting helping her, and so I'm in there, and I'm almost like I'm in there, just kind of looking up at her, making sure she sees I'm trying to help, because I want her to know I'm trying to help. And she's like, "Okay, take Nehemiah's clothes and put them away, but make sure you put them where they belong." And I was like, "Okay." She goes, "The pants go on the top, the shirts go on the bottom." Got it. I walk in the room. And the pants, I put the shirts were on the bottom, put them in there, and then I put the pants up. But there were some pants hanging down here, and I thought, well, I'll put some right here that don't fit, and I hung them right. And I go out, and she goes, "Here's Naomi." Put Naomi's clothes away. Her clothes go. So I went and I put the clothes. I put them right where she said she put them. I put them there, and then this morning she's all, "Man, you really messed up putting those clothes away. I couldn't even get to the other clothes. What'd you do? You got it all tangled up. I don't know how you did it. What were you thinking when you put that away? You just put that away. You put it all wrong." And I was thinking to myself, man, I just shouldn't have even helped. I shouldn't have even tried. Because my wife, she's very particular. She's not lazy. She's a go-getter. She tells me I'm all gas. She is. She's all gas. She's high octane jet fuel. Like she's rocket fuel. She's not just gas. She's super gas. I'm like diesel. I move slow. I'm powerful, but I move slow. And she's like OCD. It's got to be perfect. And she separates the clothes by colors. And I'm like, just hang them up. So this morning she's like, "What'd you do with the clothes, man? I couldn't even find the shirt. It took me 10 minutes, and I knew it was in there, and I found it." And I was thinking, okay, I got to work on that. I got to figure that out. But the difference is, my wife, the way she maintains our household is at that professional level. She takes it seriously. She does too much, but that's her job. She loves to do it. And that's how it is with my music. I show up and I got 15 grand worth of gear, and maybe it is too much, but that's how I want to set up and present myself and represent my brand, because I know if someone comes and watches me, or if people come out and see me, they want to see, I want to present them the best show possible. And that's how my wife is. If someone comes to the house and they walk into our house, she wants to be able to present to them the most clean, beautiful house possible. That way when they walk in, they see her brand, which is her, and they're not going to go, oh, this brand sucks. It's a messy brand. No, because it represents her. She wants to have a squared away, clean, very, very organized house. And I want to have a squared away, clean, very organized show. And so those are, although they're two different things, and maybe I'm not, and I want to try and improve, I want to get better at helping the way she wants me to, but maybe I'm not there yet, but I want to be there. And the same thing, like if I brought her here and said, hey babe, set up that PA system, get that set up, she would have no clue. She'd sit there and be like, what the heck? And if I was to tell her, hey babe, go set the merch up, she couldn't, like their thing, hey babe, do me a favor, play rhythm with me. No clue, because there's the different skill sets. Her thing is here, my thing is here. And although I might not be good at what she does, and she may not be good at what I do, I'm going to do my best to support her and help her. And she does her best to help me and support me. She'll help me load my gear. She'll come out and help me tear stuff up. I call her, hey babe, I forgot my microphone. She'll jump in the car and take me my microphone. She does everything she can to assist me, and I want to do everything I can to assist her. Although I'm not as good as her at it, and maybe she's not as good as me as at it, I want to be able to help in that area. And those are the type of people you want to bring with you that are going to help you out. You don't want to be with the people that don't give a crap about you, that don't want to be there to support you, that aren't willing to see you succeed. If you're in a band, right? If you're in a band and your guitar player gets an endorsement and you don't, be proud of your guitar player. Man, you got that endorsement, man. I'm happy for you. Be very proud of them, because there's going to come a day where you get the endorsement and you're going to want them to say, hey, man, good job. I'm glad that we helped you. Man, you got to be there for each other and carry each other and be willing to do the work. And if someone's holding you back, cut them off when it comes to business. Even if it's a personal thing, man. If I had to unfollow a friend the other day, and he's a good friend, man. I love this dude. This guy is, I'm not going to say his name, but this is the type of guy that would come to my shows, and he was always about promoting me, man. Always about being, he was a very big supporter. He'd take photos, and man, he was a very talented man. And I had to unfollow him because every day I would wake up, and in my stream were like these half-naked women. And I was like, dang, man. If I was his wife, I'd be pissed. I'll be honest with you. But I don't want to see that. I don't need to see any other woman half naked but my wife. And it has nothing to do with me, oh, I'm going to fall back into pornography. No, it just has to be with, man, I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. If I want to see a half naked woman, I'll go tell my wife, baby, can you show me, can you pick your shirt? I got that. So there's some things I have to cut out. Now that maybe that's not for you. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you enjoy that and that's what you like. Then that's fine. That's between you and the Lord. But for me, that bothers me. I don't like. And then there's other friends that are so negative about life, like F this guy, F that guy. Everyone's fighting, and I'm like, man, I just want to go on my stream and watch funny videos. I just want to go on my stream and watch like a guy get eaten up by a whale or something. I don't want to watch people complain and fight, be negative. So there are things you got to cut out. It's not bad, but you got to cut it out. People take advantage of you. People lie. People, they'll steal. I mean, look, I got merch, and if I paid $1,000 for my merchandising, and then you're in my band and you're coming walking around and giving stuff away, that's my money. That's my money. You're in the band and I'm paying you, right? If I'm paying you and you're in my band and I'm paying you and you're taking my merch and giving it away, you're stealing from me because I need that money. I paid $1,000 for all this. So if I've paid $1,000, I'm trying to earn $1,000. So I got to make my $1,000 plus the profit. And if you're stealing from me, how am I going to do that? There are some people that will steal from you. There's some people that there are other people that will try and backdoor you. Oh, look at old Linwood. I see him. He's getting all these gigs. Let me play with him, and then I'm gonna go. And then when I get there, I'm gonna kind of go find out who his buyer is. Then I'm gonna tell them, hey, I'm better than Linwood. Why don't you book me? People have tried to backdoor you. I've hired family members and I've hired friends that would find it. I'd have to send copy emails from corporate emails to some of my friends who worked with me that I had to share corporate emails with because they had to be a part of the business, and they would get these corporate emails. You know what they would do? They would email corporate and be like, "Hey, I want to do what Linwood's doing, and I can do it better. Okay, what do I have to do?" First of all, people, let me tell you this: when you get a contract, it's not as easy as you think. First of all, you get that record deal, you get that booking agent, you get that contract with whoever. It's not as easy as you think. It takes a lot. Not just being presentable, not just being good and skilled, not just being able to receive criticism and be able to be an easy person to go on with. You got to have general liability insurance, auto liability insurance. You have to have the proper tools. You have to have the meetings. You have to get vetted. You go through the whole process. And let me tell you this: legit businesses that are paying out millions of dollars. You try and backdoor one of their contractors, you know what they're going to do? They're going to tell the contractor, "Hey, listen, so and so is sending me emails. You need to fix that." They will do that because that's happened for. I've had corporate call me up and say, "Hey, man, listen up. So and so sending me emails and they're calling me. You need to get that fixed." And I'd have to go and tell whoever, friend, family member that's trying to backdoor me, "Hey, man, listen up. I know you're emailing so and so. That needs to stop." And being as nice as I was, I wouldn't fire them. I'd just be like, "Let's just don't do that no more, please." "Oh, yeah, all right, I'm sorry, man." And then we carry on. And then sooner they just quit and they'd go work for someone else that did exactly what I did, but they wanted to start fresh because they knew they did something wrong with me. People will try and backdoor you. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. And don't be that person. Anytime I had an opportunity that popped up for me, I did my best to start at the bottom and find my way in. I wouldn't just go directly to the top, even though I had the opportunity and maybe I knew people there. I would try and follow procedure. Unless I was approached, because I've been approached before. I've been approached. I did some shows with AEG Live. Started off, I did a show with Marilyn Manson, and since I was taking the role as manager, booking agent, I had developed a relationship with AEG, and AEG one day, his name, the gentleman that called me, his name was Dave Parks, and there was another gentleman. Dave Parks was the main guy, and the other gentleman, Scott Strong. They both called me up. I was at Methodist Hospital. I don't know why I was there. I was doing something. They both called me up and they go, hey, we need to talk to you. We have a really big opportunity and we want you involved. And so I took the call and we were talking and he's like, "I want you to be a part of this big festival we're launching, and you're going to work directly with Spurs Sports Entertainment, and we want you to be involved. We want you involved." And it went from that to them wanting my band involved. And then it went from them wanting my band involved to I was at the festival and they tell me, "Linwood, I'll pay you $1,000 if you go do a solo set over here." They didn't ask for my band. They just said they wanted Linwood to do a solo set because they knew I had I jammed. They knew I had like they knew I played music. They knew I did my, and they offered me $1,000 to do a solo set, and and then before you knew it, I was not only representing the band, my band, but I had developed a relationship to where they wanted to work with me. That stuff happens. That's favor. In my case, I take that as God's favor, like God just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna help you out because you show me gratitude." That's favor. Those are things that pop up out of your control that happen. And when that happens, the reason why it happens is because you're ready. The reason why it happens is because you present yourself in a manner that makes them go, wow, I want to work with that dude. I want to work with that band. I want to work with them. If you're not, if you're doing the minimum, and I would hustle. Man, the River City Rock Fest was one of my most favorite events, and I was so proud to be a part of it. And I would hustle, man. I would work. Any radio interview, I used to wake up at 5 a.m. and do radio interviews at 6. I used to freaking show up and do television interviews, and I'd go and do ticket giveaways. I'd do all kinds of cool stuff because they knew that's what they got when they worked with me. I wanted to present something amazing. Not just with my music, not with my show, but everything. I was all in it, man. I would do the hard-working man ticket. I'd show up and live stream, giving tickets away to people, surprising people. And those are part of the package. That's what you want to bring to the table. You don't want to bring mediocrity. Although I am not a great musician, I'll tell you that. I'm not great. I think I peaked. I peaked. So my best is my best is mediocre, but I still work hard at it. And sometimes, and it's true, you hear this a lot. You may not be the most talented person in the room, but you bring everything else along with you. Talent is great, but talent with the crappy attitude sucks, man. I've had some talented people in my bands that I was just afraid to get rid of. I would let them act the fool, man. I'd let them be on tour. I wouldn't care if they acted crazy. I just knew they were good, and if we were out and they were getting wasted and trashed and they were cheating on their spouses, I'd just be like, just don't quit the band. That was wrong. I shouldn't have thought that. I shouldn't have been like that. But people are like that. Talented people, you can't let them get over on you. Just because they're talented and they suck, get rid of them. They're holding you back. They're holding you back from reaching your fullness, your potential. And it's okay to say, man, you're holding me back. I got bigger things to do. I got better things to do. I don't want to be stuck here as a band, a party band. That's not what I want. I don't want to be this band that all we do is tour and everyone likes to come to my show because we like to get trashed. I want more than that. I want more than that. And you should want more than that. Unless that's your goal. If that's your goal, then do it. Go do it. Be a party band. But don't let talent get over on you. Don't feel like, although you may not have the talent to go to the next level or to do whatever, God will bring you the right people. And he'll show you the favor. He's done it for me. He's done it for me. And it doesn't mean you stop practicing. I practice all the time. My timing. Listen to my timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's off. That's how terrible my timing is. And I'm in here all the time working on my timing. I had a band member one time tell me, because I used to love, man, let me tell you one of my most favorite things in the world, bro. Let me find it. I love this. This is old school. This is like, I love the tambourine, man. Just from church. In church, I remember in church, man, because we had no drummer. The church I come from, my first church, no drummer, just the pastor and his wife and his guitar. He had a little red Telecaster. And took you to church. You'd be with the tambourine, and there'd be some lady getting crazy with the tambourine, man. And you sitting there with your. That's all we did. And so I loved using the tambourine in my show. And I had my drummer one time tell me, man, stop playing the tambourine. You're throwing me off. First of all, let me tell you this. If my little tambourine is throwing you off, then maybe you're not a good drummer. First of all. Secondly, okay, maybe I can't play the tambourine perfect, but don't let my little old tambourine mess up your freaking beat and your timing. Maybe it did. Maybe it threw him off. But he would, every time I picked up my tambourine, he'd be like, oh. And I can see, and I'm like, man, you're messing up my show. Like, he thought I was messing up his show, but man, hey, I'm going to tell you what. If I see a front man with a tambourine, he got my attention. I'm like, You got that tambourine. Man, you got my attention. I like it. I don't care if you're off. You got a tambourine. I'm like, he got a tambourine. I'm going to watch him. I love playing the tambourine. Yeah, I suck at it. I do. It's a simple instrument, and I'm terrible at it, but I love to do it. But those are things I still got to work on. You got to work on it. Listen, you got to work on it. You're not singing great. Hey, work on it. Do some vocal warm-ups. Train, practice, get on it. But don't let people hold you back. They may tell you condescendingly. I think one of my bandmates told me last year, if we're going to hold you back, you can find fill-ins. And I took that as condescending, like I think I'm better than them. And I know I'm not. I'm not better, but I have a lot more on the line. I have business investments here. It's not that I think I'm better than you. It's that I think I need to make my money back. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you own a business and you invest a lot of money in your business and you're not working your business, you're getting held back, not because you're better than anyone. It's because you got to make money. I got to work. If you don't want to work, tell me you don't want to work, and then let's move forward. But don't tell me, well, if I'm holding you back, don't do that, because yeah, you are. We know you're holding me back. You're holding everybody back. Don't put yourself in that situation where you're so dependent on people that they dictate your life. If they get mad at you one day, say they just getting pissed off at you, and they're like, man, F that guy. He thinks he's so cool. I ain't gonna play no more. And then they don't want to play every time. Hey man, can you play this shit? No, I can't play. And they're just doing it because they know that that's what you love, and they know that you're good at it, and they know that you depend on that, and they know that you need them. They're an integral part of your sound. And then it becomes like, okay, well, if you never play a show, then you're not working. You can't make money because they could be, maybe they don't want to play. Maybe they're just tired, or maybe they're upset with you, or maybe they just want to prove to you that you need them. Cut them out. Cut them out. You don't need them. You don't need. I used to think I needed people. I spent most of my life thinking I need this person in my band. I need this guitar player. I need this manager. I need this agent. You don't. What you need is dedication and determination, and then you need to find the right people that are willing to put that kind of work in with you, and then bring them along with you. I don't know if it's a different world, man. I was thinking the other day when it comes to music, I started my bands, and I never thought of myself as a solo act, as a solo artist. I thought of myself, I need a band. I saw my first bass player yesterday, the first bass player I ever really had in my band, like a seriously good bass player. Very talented, someone I looked up to. I saw him yesterday. He was having lunch with his family, his wife. They were celebrating their 28th wedding anniversary, and I saw him there, and we were talking, and he's like, "Shave your beard, bro. You gotta shave your beard." He was being silly, he's messing around. But I was thinking, I remember feeling like I needed that guy in my band. And some bands you do. There's a sound you're looking for. Everyone brings a different element that creates the sound. But I also remember him and the drummer was his wife's brother, and I remember one time they got upset and they quit. Both of them just quit. They didn't want to play, and I had to go do a show without them. I had a schedule set up, and I had to go and play a show by myself with my acoustic guitar, and I did the best I could, but they didn't want to play because they were upset about something. I think back then they thought they didn't understand music and publishing, and they just think you write a song and that song's a hit song, and they want to protect it. I remember they were recording practices, and they wanted I think the wife was going to be the manager, and it got real crazy. And I was like, guys, we're just playing shows. We don't even have a record deal. But it was like, no, we need to have some sort of contract. And people think differently, and they got upset, and they just quit. And I had to go and perform still because I had obligations. And then I replaced them right away. Thankfully, I found other guys that replaced them. And but I always felt I needed the band. I needed the band. I need this guy. And it got even worse when things really blew up for me, because then I needed those guys in my band, because we had a show that we developed from hard work and practice and rehearsal and grinding. Then I was in a position where I really felt like I needed this band, and I could not do anything without them. That, guys, is not healthy. It's crippling. It's crippling. When you depend on someone in your business so much that if they just don't want to do it, and it affects your business, and it affects your opportunities for growth, and it affects your opportunities to expand your territory, then possibly you need to cut them out. Because they could honestly feel like, this is my band. You don't tell me when to play, I say when to play. You don't tell me when I'm going on tour, I say when I'm going on tour. And then it becomes a conflict, because you're like, anytime you manage a band, or you're booking, or you're managing a business, you're always months in advance, 3 months ahead. You're always booking and planning and preparing. And if you have some shows in the books that have been lined up for 3 months, and then a week before the tour, you have a guitar player come up to you and go, I can't do the tour. I'm not going to do it unless you pay me $900 a week. And then you're going, how are we going to do that? You don't make enough money. And then they don't do the tour, then you're screwed. Now, what I do now, because I did that for many, now what I do is, I'm going to hire a guitar player now. And I'm sending my songs to every guitar player that I think is interested, or that can learn the songs. Because if there comes a point where someone can't make it, I'm going to have a roster of guys I can call. And a lot of the guys you hire, they show a lot of gratitude. They're good guys out there. They're going to come up to you and be, hey man, you know what? I appreciate you giving me this gig, and thank you. That's important, people. Tell people thank you once in a while. Show gratitude. But I did learn that it's okay to say someone's going to hold you back. It's a tough realization, because I've never thought like that. I never wanted to think like that. I never wanted to feel or feel like I was doing more, or was better, or had more to accomplish than someone else. People have different goals, and I made the mistake of thinking. I made the mistake of thinking my bandmates or my business partners had the same type of goals as me, and we didn't. And you have to, when you get into business with people, you have to come into business with them with the understanding that everyone has these set expectations, and if ours doesn't align, tell me ahead of time so we can prepare for that. Because I have no problem with you being a part of my band or a part of my business, and you want to take vacations. I don't have a problem with that. But if you want to take vacations, take the vacations when we plan it. Don't take the vacation when we're fixing to leave on tour. Don't take the vacation when I have shows lined up for the weekend. Communicate, and then let's find someone else to play and fill in. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to be said there, because I do know I branded myself as a band for the past 20 years. I didn't brand Linwood King. I didn't brand Lenny King. I branded my band. And so now that I'm rebranding as myself, people have an expectation of hearing the band. And it's not the band anymore. It's just me. And now I have musicians playing with me. So essentially starting over. But it's a good thing, though. I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing. Nobody knows my band. Like, my bandmates made me think the whole world knows them, and they're like, "Well, it's going to be a different sound. We're not going to." We sent our press release out at the beginning of the year. I sent the press release out, and I got a couple emails back from, "Well, who's the new band? Is it the same lineup? What's going to happen now?" Some promoters and talent buyers were like, "What's going on now? Is it the same lineup?" And people were on my Facebook page or anywhere I announced it, were going, Who's the band? Who's in the band now? And it was like, well, it wasn't the whole world. It was like maybe 4 or 5 people. And it's not going to be the type of deal, I guarantee, like even now when I play show, like tonight I'm going to be in New Braunfels. No one's going to show up to my show in New Braunfels and be like, I came to hear the band and I don't see so-and-so in the band. It's not the same lineup. And that's not going to happen. I 1,000% guarantee that. A billion percent. I've had that yet happen. I've been playing shows consistently since the beginning of the year, and I have not yet had someone come along to me and go, where's the band at? Why ain't the band playing? Why are you selling CDs with other people? No one cares. But it's hard because I'm starting over again, and now I realize nobody cared really. All that hard work, and nobody cared. People care, I know they do, but that's the reality of it, though. People care, but they don't really care as much as you think. Especially if you stop being in their faces. Especially if you stop promoting and branding. Especially if you're not bringing awareness and then letting people showing activity. A dead person, right? When someone dies and they're dead, it's because there's no heartbeat, there's no pulse, there's no activity. And when they die, time, it hurts and you go through pain. People get depressed and it's hard to lose somebody. But after they're dead and after time passes by, a lot of times they get forgotten. They get thought about, but for the most part, there's no impact because there's no activity because they're dead. That's the way a business can be. That's the way a band. Think of your music or your band or your business like a life, like a living being. Okay, you got your social networks, you got your websites, you got your music platforms. Think of it as a living, breathing being. When it stops having activity, it dies. When you stop promoting, you start talking about it, you stop being in people's phases, you stop sharing reels, you stop sharing posts. When there's no activity, especially in this day and age, because this is a digital day and age, technology is so important, social media is so important. If you're not active, if there's no activity on your website, there's no activity on your social media, you're dead. You're dead. And that's where I was. My band was dead because there was no activity. And I wanted to initiate activity, but I thought if I initiate the activity, but my bandmates or my business partners aren't willing to initiate activity with me and willing to get involved with me and willing to put the work back in there with me, then if me showing activity is like the left arm moving around and the rest of the body's dead, and here's the left arm just kind of, or the right arm, whatever, or the head trying to move around. But if the rest of the body isn't working, then you're paralyzed. You're not living, you're not full, you're not your entire body. So if there's no activity or just a little bit of activity, people are going to walk up to you and they're going to see that dysfunction. There's something wrong there. Why is only so and so posting? Let me go check out the rest of the bands. And then they go to everyone's, because it's how people are. I'm the same way. You go and see, what's going on with this band? And you go to the bands, you go to the drummer's page, and then you see everyone's page, and there's no activity, there's no life for that brand anymore. There's no excitement. There's no presence. It's dead. And if I'm going to be the head or the foot or the hand or the whatever, the mouth, but I have no activity from the other members of the other parts of the business because they're dead, I have to make the decision. Am I going to transplant? Can I find the doctor to give me a transplant, please? And that's what I had to do. I had to get the transplant. Now, I'm trying to and I think that's why it's appropriate to go by Linwood King and the Revival, because it's I'm reviving myself. I'm Lord, revive me, Jesus. Give me revival, not just for my life, but for you and for my music. That's where I'm at. I'm like, Lord, just renew me. And so that's why I do feel like going by Linwood King and the Revival is appropriate. But it's scary because I don't like being a solo artist. I don't want to be alone. Thankfully, I can afford right now to pay musicians. I'm grateful that I can afford to pay guys, and it helps their income. It gives them money for their families. And eventually, I want the type of growth that's going to give me enough money to say, hey, listen up, man. Can I keep you on retainer? I can't afford to keep anyone on retainer, because I don't make enough money, but I can afford to pay them to play with me, but I can't afford to. If they get a better gig somewhere else, they can take it because they're a business. They operate as a business. They got to make sure their family's fed. And so I at least have a pool of musicians I can call and go, hey, can I get a fill-in tonight because so-and-so can't play because he got a better offer. And so those are things where eventually you want to see that type of growth. But until you get there, you got to keep working at all of the aspects of your potential. Technology, website, social media, songwriting, putting out content, practicing, working out, being active, trying to eat healthy, trying to establish a good home for your family, so when you're on tour or you're away from your family and your kids and your wife, there's structure when you're gone, so you can leave on the road or you can go out on a mission and I'm going on this mission, but I know my family is good, so I'm going to perform at a higher level because my family's good. That's important. People overlook that. You can be super talented, you can be all in with your business, but if your house is messed up, man, that's going to affect you. Try and keep your house in order. I used to hate going on tour if my wife was mad at me. Oh man, if we had an argument or something went wrong and I was fixing to leave for 3 weeks, or even if it was a week or 10 days, if something was wrong before I left, I felt the first 3 shows I was just. But it always happened, like midway through the tour, my wife missed me, I missed her. And then we started like this honeymoon. I can't wait to get back home. And then I love you too. And then you get this energy and then you're back on fire again. But if your home is good, if your household is good and your wife is good and you're faithful to each other, that's important, y'all. Be faithful to your wife. Be faithful to your family. Men, be faithful to your wife and kids. You may think you're cheating on your wife, but you're cheating on your wife and your kids. You're affecting your kids if you're going to screw around. Be faithful. So when you do go on that mission, you go on that tour, you go on that job, you're going to leave knowing my wife, I trust her. She's got it taken care of. She can trust me. And you're going to perform at a higher level. You're going to always perform better when your home is squared away. So I know it's not going to always be perfect. It's not, because we're human. We get frustrated. We miss the mark a lot of times. But that's where you have to operate in grace also. Give each other grace and work through that. But anyhow, there are some relationships you cannot cut out. You can't just cut out. Don't cut your marriage out. Don't cut your marriage out. If you feel like your spouse is holding you back, then you need to have that conversation with expectations. My wife met me as a touring musician. I was had a booking agent, manager, record deal. I was freaking working my butt off. I was playing. So that's what she met me at, and she loved me, and she fell in love with me, and she just go to shows and festivals with me. She was a big part of. So my wife understands this thing, and but there are times where I know it's hard for our marriage because I have to always be working. When you're self-employed, and musicians generally, if you don't approach your music as a small business, you need to start doing that. But just with business in general, whatever business you have, whatever type of business you have, you're always on. someone calls me from one of my contracts, I'm not going to ignore the call. I got to take it. If I get an email at 2:30 in the afternoon, I'm going to answer it. Now, there was a point in my life, and I'm probably still do that, where if it's 10 p.m. and you call me, I would still take the call if it was business, because I knew it was important. And I was still trying to grow. I was still trying to develop myself, and I had to take every call I got. Now I can wait. Like last night, I emailed one of my booking agents, who's a good friend of mine. He's also a very talented performer. I emailed him and I said, or texted him. I go, hey bro, can we move a date around? Is there a way I can change this date? And he says, possibly, but I'm too busy right now. This is my family time. Hit me up tomorrow. Great response. That man is taking care of his home. And so that's how I want to be. I want to be able to say, hey, let's talk about it tomorrow. So I was actually, yesterday I got a very important email that could possibly make me a lot of money. And I didn't answer it last night because it was late. I'm going to do it today. But those are things, like when it comes to business, you're always on. And my wife has always known me like that. And it's a blessing. It's also a curse, because being in business for yourself, I have a schedule that I can do anything I want. I can schedule. I can tell you when I want to work and when I don't want to work. I'm able to take a show or not take a show. I'm able to. I'm off during the days, during the week. I can take my kids to school or pick them up from school. I can be here with my wife and we can go shopping, or we can go eat dinner or lunch together. We can go for walks. I can go to the gym. But the flip side of that is I'm always on. If I get a call, I got to take it. If I get an email, I want to answer it. I could be at the gym and then someone call me that, and I have to stop what I'm doing. I can be at the movie theater at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but then I get that business call. I have to take it. There's a back and a forth. There's a two-way street. You have to understand that. My wife does understand that, but don't cut your family off, man. Don't cut your wife off. Don't. Now, if she's cheating on you, that's different. If there's infidelity or abuse, I think God makes. But if it's just because you're hitting a rocky season and you're not getting along, don't cut each other out. I'm learning, and I'm still learning. My wife, and she tells me that we're different people than when we met 10 years ago, and it's true. We're different, but we're the same. You can be different, but you're not that different. You're still you. Maybe your goals have changed, but you're not a different person. You're still the same person. Your goals may have changed. Don't give me this. Oh, this is one thing that I don't want to hear you say. Man, I married you 20 years ago, but we're not the same people anymore. No, we're the same people. Maybe you're not as committed as you were before. Be committed to each other. Be willing to work. My wife is going to get her master's degree, and she wants to be a professor, and she wants to be a scientist, and I want her to do that. I want her to do it, not because we don't need the money. I make enough money, but she wants to do that. She wants to have more money because she got all these plans and trips and things she wants to do. And I'm like, girl, I can't. That's not my budget. But she's like, well, I'm gonna be a professor and I'm gonna make $180,000 a year and I'm gonna do all. And so that's her goal, and I support her in that because she works hard for it. She was up to the wee hours of the night doing homework last night. I support those goals. It's hard because she's stressed, and during this season, it's difficult because she got a lot on her plate. But I'm not going to cut her out, and she's not going to cut me out. It's commitment. It's don't cut her out. Don't cut your wife out. Don't cut your children out. Try and love them and steer them the right direction and teach them and love them and be a godly example to them. But when it comes to business partners, man, some people you got to cut out. Cut them out. Don't let them hold you back. All right, y'all, I got to get going. I've been on, oh my good Jesus, Lord, hallelujah. I've been on this thing since 7:30, and I got a show tonight in New Braunfels, Texas. I'm gonna take my gear down. I'm gonna go. Listen, let me tell you, people, go all in. Do too much. Go above and beyond. Do the extra thing. if it's in music or in art or in carpentry or in IT work or whatever work you're doing, podcast, whatever it is, go the extra mile. Make it a little more interesting. Do a little bit more work, but make it to where you're leaving a mark on people. All right? Leave that mark on people. Leave that mark on people. I'm telling you, get out there and be extra. What was that saying they used to tell you? Man, you extra. Be extra. I'm extra. I'll freaking be extra. If that's how I pay my bills, I'm going to be extra. If that's how I take care of my family, expect me to be extra. Expect me to go a little bit further than you think. Expect me to put on a harder show. Expect me to have a nicer setup. It pays off, people. Go all in. Do too much. I can't leave without doing this. I'm looking for it. There it is. All right. Listen, y'all. Look, it's freaking 9:45. Hopefully my wife hasn't started cleaning up the front area. She probably has, but I'm going to get out there and I'm going to start cleaning up. I'm going to help her clean up. Then I'm going to go on my treadmill. Then I'm going to come pack all my gear. Then I'm going to drive out to my show. And I'm going to try and do extra. I'm going to try and go a little further than I have been. And I want to encourage you. Go a little further. Do a little too much when it comes to your music, your business, whatever you're doing. Be extra. Let people look at you and go, man, that guy is really serious about what he's doing. Make a change, baby. You can do it. Listen up.
Brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us. And until next time, be good to each other and work harder than you did yesterday. LPK out.
Semper Fi, brother. Come on. Freddie, good job, Freddie. Good job, man. Keep it up. You're doing good. No, you're doing good. Make sure fader number 3. Make sure you fade that. Good job, man. You're doing good, Freddie. Freddie, I want to tell you thank you, Freddie, for all the hard work you're doing, bud. I appreciate you. You appreciate me too? Oh, come on. Love you, bud. Love you, bud. All right, let's get this shut down.